Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hope everyone's having a good weekend as always. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. Our focus still remains on a bullish stance moving forward, yet we are aware of a bearish narrative or bearish alternative that we'll still discuss moving forward. But, moving forward, we're still adopting a bullish stance. So we're going to go ahead and review all of the counts here that we've been following for the past few months, the past few years, actually, basically. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Just like last time, we start off with the bearish alternatives. I'm going to go ahead and just review those briefly here and discuss them. So it all adopts from a stance where this is a C of a B, or what we call a flat. This is a B flat wave, where it was completed right here. And now we are pivoting down strongly. There's only two ways we could see that we discussed last time. The first variation that we were discussing was a 1-2-1-2. Now, I don't really think this is valid anymore. Once again, we had very little room to work with for timing. So once we compare this timing here and we look at this structure, it's very impulsive, meaning we would expect a retrace and a continuation upwards. But if we did that, we would extend the timing of completion for this minute wave 2 and potentially even go beyond the termination of the prior wave 2. So pretty much a time invalidation and a price invalidation, depending upon how strongly it came up there. Regardless, if it exceeds the timing of the prior correction, it's usually a really strong red flag that this is not a valid count that you're observing. So we may have to discount this idea. We'll give it a little more time to develop more price action here before we actually delete the count. But I am calling it fairly early that this may be invalidated. The second variation that we were looking at was a leading diagonal. Same issue here. Due to the impulsiveness of this leg starting from here and potentially ending here, it's very impulsive. It doesn't have any kind of corrective nature, and it'd be forcing if we did a W, X, Y, X, Z. This price action is more similar or more comparison to a impulsive leg rather than a corrective leg. So again, we may have to even invalidate this count as well. However, we're still going to wait for a little more price action to develop before we completely invalidate this idea. Thus, we pivot back to our bullish stance, where we are in a wave 5. Where this is where we completed a wave 3. This is where we completed a wave 4. And now we are working on a wave 5. Last time we were discussing how strong of an impulse we were expecting. We said if we really came up here strong like this, we would be expecting a extended fifth wave, kind of up here up to the 100,000 six-figure zone. Yet, due to it being slightly moderate, we may have to even have a conservative target, where it's really just a moderate wave 5 as opposed to an extended wave 5. Thus, this will bring down our projected zone for the wave 2 as well. just like that. So it really depends. We need a little more price action here to determine if this wave 1 is completed, or if it's not completed, we still have a little more push to the upside, which I'll discuss this on a lower time frame here shortly as well. But this is once again stating that we're adopting a bullish stance. We're going to trend upwards for a good while here, potentially till the end of the year. Bring it down to the lower time frame. Let's actually go down to the hourly here. And get rid of this. So this is the moderate perspective. This is the conservative view, where the impulse is completed. We have a leading diagonal for a wave 1, retrace for wave 2, impulse for wave 3, retrace for wave 4, and then lastly, an ending diagonal for a wave 5 potentially. If this is completed, we're going to be looking for a retrace for an A, B, C, just like that. And from a time perspective, it's falling right within what we expected. We were aware it might push to the maximum time frame of completion, pushing it all the way out to August 1st, but it's ending somewhere around the average zone of completion, which is what we were expecting. Now it's about determining if we really are in this A wave, or if we have one more push up, which I'll discuss here in just a few moments. But if this is completed, then we can go ahead and start projecting the timing of completion for this minute wave 2. Meaning we're going to look for it to be somewhere towards the end of July and the beginning of August. Target-wise, we're looking for this fair value gap in the daily, right to equilibrium of this expansive move, or it could even dig down a little bit further to the golden fib into this fair value gap on the daily as well. Once again, it just depends if we are in a wave and if this is completed as wave 5 of wave 1. Alternatively, once again, we could have one more push up. It really depends on how you're counting this price action right here. So from a alternative perspective, it could count it like this, where let me just tidy this up here just a few moments, just really quickly. There we go. Where instead of counting the diagonal like this is its own impulse. Another retrace. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for another impulse. So a 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Then we get our minute wave 1 right here. So once again, it really depends on how you're counting this price action here. If we are going to get another retrace here, we're immediately going to be looking at the typical wave 4 targets. Let me go ahead and put prices on there as well. So minimally 64 to upper 63, or upper 62 to lower 62s. Could even try attacking this low, but typically with 1, 2s, 1, 2s, when you get those 3, 4, 3, 4s, 3, 4, 3, 4, that prior wave 4 zone is usually protected and you get that another 4 like this, then it comes up for that last fifth, just like this. Typically, I would want to see at least this protected. If anything, we attack this low. But potentially, it could really just dig into the 236, 272, like that, and could satisfy it and move up, since it is a 1-2-1-2, just like how we're saying right here. So ideally, for 1-2-1-2, we would like to have it dig into just a 236, 272 and maintain the prior wave 4. But from a liquidity perspective, these are equal lows right here. This is a major liquidity zone right here. Liquidity pool. A lot of stops right here. Someone was holding price up right there. A lot of these equal lows. This is a target from a liquidity perspective where it could just dig right down into that 3-4-1-4 and move up. We just gotta wait and see. So as of now, we're still adopting a bullish stance moving forward. We need just a little bit more price action to really determine if this is completed or not, and we're going to get a regular wave 5 pretty much to the 80,000 to 95,000, or if this is really going to push up more. And even then, we still don't even know, because this wave 3 could even extend itself, where it could still push it up to a extended wave 5, where this is still even completed as a wave 1. So there's still a lot of possibilities here. The most important thing to understand is that you want to be conservative. You want to have a moderate approach. You're going to look for these targets. Once we're up in this area, we're going to have a lot of price action to work with to determine the structure moving up. So it's kind of a moot discussion to determine if we're going to be in a regular or extended. We need a lot more price action to determine, but we're aware of the targets to the upside. We just need structure and more price action to really help determine how far up we're going. That's pretty much everything I have. Everything's been moving along as is. Once we finally had this pivot right here, this pivot, things began to be a lot more clear with this impulsive nature moving upwards. So we took this low very strongly, and then we were accepted right back into this range. It's very, very bullish. Now all we need is to wait for this impulse to be completed, a 3-wave move correction for wave 2 to build a base, and then move on up. That's basically it. As always, if you have any questions, you guys can always message me publicly or privately in the Discord. I'm going to go ahead and do a altcoin video update for you here shortly. I'll put it in Discord here either by the end of the day or tomorrow. But if there is any requests, go ahead and shoot me your request before I complete that video, and I may add it. Or, I could even just update you guys in Discord in real time as well. But once again, as always, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you guys enjoy the weekend. If you did enjoy the video, please like, consider subscribing, leave a comment below, and I'll catch everybody next week. Thanks everybody for watching, and catch you later.